Hello and welcome everybody. I am Oliver Lietz from Nano Cosmos, based in Berlin in Germany. I'm really happy to be back in the shows after 3 years again, so it's exciting to be here and meet a lot of old friends and interesting discussions again here at the show. So I'm going to talk about the business and technical challenges of interactive live streaming and how this is driving audience engagement. I want to talk about a bit about use cases. So I consider two main scenario types of use cases, which we can describe as type 1 as kind of live events, like we are now here on the show. I'm standing on the stage, I'm talking to you as an audience, I might pick up questions from you directly. And these types of live events are, as everybody knows, also streamed to the world. And the key thing is about interactive live streaming is that the audience can directly be engaged and can interact with the presenter somehow, can ask questions, can give any kind of feedback. And for example, in things like that, or in annual general meetings in the enterprise space, you can add any kind of voting during the presentations. So keep the audience interactive and engaged during this session. Scenario type 2 is a bit different. It's about monetized content. It's more like ad hoc streaming, instant streaming for 24/7 operations. That means use cases like live auctions, live sports betting, live games or live retail, where you directly monetize your video content for the audience. And there it's very important that you keep the real-time interaction active and enable a business case around the video stream. So let's share an example for this kind of stage presentation, town hall meetings, panel discussions with questions and answers. You have a panel sitting on the podium and have a discussion which is shared with the global audience. The audience is connected to the stream by opening up the player on any device, preferable for instant access on a browser. So you just open up the browser, watch the stream, have some interactive elements with the live stream, like Q&A, polls, etc. And this interaction is then fed back to the panelists and to the presentation, so you can directly interact with the audience. So this real-time interaction between the presenters and the audience is only possible with real-time streaming or ultra-low latency live streaming to reach a global audience on any device in a very short delay. We also call that a lean-forward experience. So everybody in the audience is somehow interacting and can type any kind of questions, can do feedback, compared to the lean-back experience, which you have usually in OTT TV applications where you're sitting in a couch and enjoying an event on a big screen. That's another example which expands the virtual meetings or the stage meetings to the hybrid space. So the presenter is not only on stage, it's also expanded to panelists coming in virtually by any kind of type of video conferencing application. So these hybrid events are more and more, of course, interesting to combine the personal meetings with the virtual meetings online and then expand this meeting to larger audiences. So this can be seen as a combination of video meeting, like an application like Zoom or Jitsi, web-based video meetings with a larger live streaming environment to expand to larger audiences. So you see on the left-hand side, so you see the on-stage presentation, on the right-hand side the virtual presentations, and the combination, mix and match, and virtual and online makes it a hybrid use case. So coming back to the monetized content, as I said, live auctions, live betting are interesting use cases where you directly have a monetized revenue channel. You see an example of real-time estate sales, which is done by one of our customers in Australia. So they can directly bid on real estate and be part of the sales activity without going to this venue directly. Other examples, horse racing or casino gaming, which is of course very prominent here in Las Vegas. When you have casinos everywhere, you can expand this casino games also to the virtual space by creating interactive live games with the gaming business application around the live stream. All these applications have in common that you have a live stream coming from the presentation, sent to a live streaming platform and distributed at a global scale. And the players, the audience, open up the player, connect to the closest edge server location in the content delivery network, and need to have a seamless user experience to have with ultra low latency live streaming, so the time difference between the presentation and the playback is very low, to enable these interactive use cases for the applications I just described. So what is needed for these interactive applications to create applications with interactive live streaming? Let's go into a bit more detail on the setup which you need to do on your side. You have a camera on the live encoding system which you need to set up. There are several challenges around that already. The optimal encoder setup for ultra low latency. You need to decide on the camera type. Is it a professional camera? Is it a webcam? The encoder type can be software, hardware, or even a browser-based application. You need to decide on encoder configuration things like frame rate, bit rate, bits per second, constant bit rate, GOP sizes, etc. And decide on the ingest protocol, which can be RTMP, which is still very prominent for ingest, SRT, which we also enable on our cloud, WebRTC, WIP. Several ingest protocols are available to ingest for ultra low latency. Very important, of course, is the location and the network. So if you have a bad network on the first mile to go out to the system, you lose quality of service for the whole audience. So having a very stable network for the ingest side is very important to keep up a very high user experience. But when you have set up all that, you can send the ingest stream to the live streaming service, and the live streaming service and CDN is then taking care about the delivery at a global scale. Having a look at the other side of the downstream, the last mile, the live players are picking up the live stream from the cloud system or CDN, and everybody in the global audience needs to have a great user experience for this case. So it's very important to keep this interactive real-time streaming active on all cases for the whole audience for a very high user experience. So the technology behind that is not really deciding, it's really the user experience and the customer experience on the end, how good the stream is playing to keep the interactive elements active. This creates a lot of challenges in the delivery side. One known challenge is the adaptation to the bitrate and to the available network on the device you are using. So when you would send a HD stream, 4K stream, whatever, to the cloud, and you would like to play that back on a 3G network, that doesn't work, so you need to adjust the quality levels to the right network delivery side, and that's usually done by adaptive bitrate playback and based on live transcoding, which is a service part of the platform. So based on an incoming high quality bitrate stream, there will be created several quality levels for delivering to several network types, and the player needs to automatically decide on the best option then to keep the playback running all the time. And that's especially challenging for the ultra low latency interactive live streaming space, so you need to have a reliable network to really adjust to these quality levels and keep the latency very low in all cases. The streaming network, as I said, is very important to have availability anywhere in the world. If you have applications at a global scale, you need several server locations by the network, which needs to be very robust with 100% SLA. It should never fail for 24/7, 365 operations. Things like automatic failover and monitoring are very important. And also more and more important are getting security concerns and compliance regulations like the European GDPR regulation, content protection, things against misuse. So a lot of challenging issues around the distribution in the network are important to keep your network content protected and deliver in a high quality to the client devices. To get insight into the quality of the service, you need the proper tools as well. So quality of service, quality of experience is enabled by data metrics and analytics, which is really a powerful requirement for you and your customers. to have complete end-to-end control about the quality of service and get insight into how good the quality is for different parts of the playback environments. Also add some business intelligence around this and get insights into possible impacts on the live streams, like buffering, frame drops, whatever, and make that visible for your own business workflows. So I can show you one example from our system. When you send a live stream from the camera to the upstream to the cloud, you might run into several network issues, and you can make that visible with the right tools, where you see, for example, in this case, the bit rate going up and down a lot from the encoder, and at a certain time even dropping. So this might lead to some assumptions that the network has dropped in this case, which leads to bad user experience for the whole audience. So these tools help a lot to keep the quality at a high level and make that visible either on a dashboard or even on API level to add to your own monitoring and alerting systems. On the right-hand side, it's a bit difficult to see now, but you see a very straight line going forward there, that the video bitrate is very constant, and that creates a good user experience with only few buffering or no buffering, and it's the perfect result for live streaming for these use cases. So how do you get started for interactive live streaming? It's quite easy usually to get started. Coming back to our platform, NanoStream Cloud, you can run a free trial, create your own tests with our free demo account for our system. You can run from your own webcam. You can use free software like OBS, which is a very stable tool, which is also very well suited for ultra low latency live streaming. We have tutorials online, video tutorials as well, where you can see how that works. You can then run that on our dashboard, see the web player running, or even embed the live stream on your own web page to see how that runs in your own workflows. We support professional hardware encoders like Teradek or Haivision or other brands, or directly webcast from the browser to make it really very simple to instantly send a live stream from within browser environments, which you can then also use for your own branded business workflows. Embedding the live stream on your own web page is usually also very simple. Just copy-paste some JavaScript code to your web page. You can run your own designs around that based on web design and HTML workflows. This player, which is then embedded on the web page, and as I said, directly connects then automatically to the right server location and ensures that the stream is running stable at all times, and you need only to take care about the web environment and your own business workflows, and don't need to worry about the video technology and protocols below that. So no need to handle things like HLS distribution setups and things like that. That's covered under the hood of the player APIs to be able to focus fully on the workflow and successful business application. Even easier it would be with an iframe embed code, which you can just copy-paste from one code line and put that in a content management system or simple web page environments. So let's give a wrap-up about that. Interactive live streaming is a great tool to engage your audiences at a global scale. It's very easy to get started, but the details matter, as I said. There are a lot of challenges around that to create a high quality of service in all times. And it's important to have the right partners and the right platform behind that. Our platform, which we offer as a complete live streaming platform, including control for the quality of service and quality of experience, and having the right tools available for metrics and analytics to have full insight and full control end-to-end for these types of applications. We also have our booth there. It's just some steps to the right. And we're happy to answer any questions for your use cases when you step by and talk to us. Thank you very much.